In these perilous times, see from current events how biblical prophecy is coming to pass in front of our eyes. You're watching In the Last Days, the program that looks at Israel and the end times with teaching from a Hebraic perspective. With Martin and Nathalie Blackham, thank you to our friends and partners who make this program possible. Now, here's Martin and Nathalie.
Program with myself, Martin Blackham, and my wife, Nathalie Blackham. Great to have you with us in our studios in Jerusalem. We have a very special program for you today, especially for all the people who want to know what's going on behind the scenes. We have news from Israel. We're going to be speaking about Nathalie's book, and we're also going to be doing a special report on Aliyah, that is the return of the Jewish people from the diaspora, the nations, to the land of Israel. We're going to have a special TV report which Nathalie is going to introduce. So great to have you with us. Now, some of you have been asking, why are we normally separate? In other words, why is it normally myself, or why is it normally Nathalie? And why is that, Nathalie? Why are we normally separate?
Because we're doing a lot of interviews right now. So because we want to bring you some real stories with real people here in Israel. We really want to give the platform to Jewish people so they are able to say things. It was very interesting because we had the son of Hamas. We've done a report with him, and I was looking, a lot of people were speaking about him, but I say no, we are going to do a YouTube, and it's what he's saying, because we're always adding, you know, what we think about and I say no, we're doing a straight YouTube, and you can find a lot of our YouTube. You go YouTube, media, you can go on our website and you will find everything there. And now we are putting also our program all in YouTube. So they go on Revelation TV, and after, for people who didn't catch it or want to see it again and want to bring it to, you know, give it to their friends to share, you can do it. You can find me also, Nathalie Blackham, on Facebook. We might do sometime a Facebook in the last days, but we haven't done it yet. But it's like we are starting to use more the media because it's very important.
And the thing is, if you do tune into our YouTube station, it is ITLD program, all squashed together. ITLD program. Just type that into YouTube, and you will be immediately on our station. And the first thing we want to do on the program is to thank you. It's because of your help and your support for the work that we're doing here in Jerusalem, in Israel, that we can produce these programs. And we know that many of you, in fact, we've got some emails to read out from people who have been responding to the programs. Don't forget, if you want to email we're going to put the address on the screen. It's info@inthelastdays.com. Now, some of you may not have a computer, and there is also a postal address which we'll be putting on the screen as well.
And when you speak about that, I was just thinking also that we started what we are doing. I was speaking with some friends, and it's like, because we discover our Jewish roots as Christians. And when we started to discover our Jewish roots, we discovered that the media was not saying the right things. So we started to send an update. It was in September, October 2003, and we carry on every week to send some updates. So again, if you want the update, you go on our website, www.inthelastdays.com, and you can just subscribe. It's free. We give you things that we are doing, like, for example, we've done a report on the Aliyah, on the return of the Jewish people, but we put also some information, news, and also we put some of our program, and you can look at it, and we are linking also with some other people who live here. So there is a lot of things now on the updates that people can get.
So we want to go straight into the news, and the news is coming thick and fast as we speak. Many of you are aware of the developments in Syria, and of course of the Arab Spring, and this is just hot off the press, literally, as we came in the studio to bring you this program today. It says IDF stations Iron Dome in Eilat, that's in the south of Israel, among grad threat. It says move comes days after rockets shake Eilat. IDF says deployment of this Iron Dome battery is part of the national plan to test an anti-rocket system around the country. Now, in Hebrew, the word for this Iron Dome is Ein Kippah, which is the skull cap that you'll see Jewish people, the bazel, the skull cap that the Jewish people wear. Now, the IDF have stationed, that's the Israeli army, have stationed an Iron Dome rocket defense battery west of Eilat. The move comes days after 2 Grad rockets were fired at the Red Sea resort city. According to the police, there was their phone systems, the Israeli police phone system in Eilat was blocked because so many people were ringing about the explosions.
You have to explain also why is this happening. There is a lot of things happening in Sinai, and there was some terrorists. And so Israel, you know, the Sinai is a demilitarized zone. So the Egyptian army is not allowed to go there. But because there were some terrorists who were doing things against Israel, Israel said to Egypt, yes, you can go. So the army, the Egyptian army went there. And now they are not retrieving. Again, today, as you were saying, there was an anti-aircraft plane.
Missiles, yeah. It says, well, in fact, this is the, I was just coming, you just spoiled my news report. I was just coming onto it. It says, Egyptian anti-aircraft missiles are reported in Sinai. Now, this whole area, some of you might not know, understand the geography or what's happening. This was originally, the Sinai was originally a part of Egypt, but we know that in the past times this was part of Israel, and then Israel recaptured the Sinai, and then more recently it's been made into a demilitarized zone, which means that armies can't come in and out. But the latest news is the Egyptians have moved batteries, not just one, but batteries, that's plural, of anti-aircraft missiles into the Sinai. Now, what is very interesting is in the prelude to the Yom Kippur War of 1973, Egypt moved anti-aircraft missiles close to the Suez Canal. Now, why would you move anti-aircraft missiles if you're trying to fight terrorists? They don't have aeroplanes, so you don't need them. So the only reason that Egypt is stationing anti-aircraft missile batteries is against Israel. And this is on the Sinai border in Syria. There've been, as you know, there's basically a civil war going on, and that's stretching right up to the Israeli border. We've got Hezbollah in Lebanon right up to that border, so we are living in very dangerous times. The military, the Israeli army, have been moved up to the Egyptian border. They're being stationed there. In fact, I'm going to be talking a bit later, or being well in this program, about some of the things that are happening in the Israeli army. They're acquiring more equipment. And in fact, in the Aliyah, which Nathalie will be talking about, there are more people coming into the IDF. So there is a lot happening here. And part of that you can be involved in. You know that a lot of the programs you've seen, we do this with this set we have behind us. This is the set we do for interviews, and we've been using basically since we arrived in Israel. But we want to build another set. We're acquiring equipment for that, which is just on the other side of the studio. Away from where I'm speaking, just there, we're going to have a what we call a black background set, and this is where you can become involved, because obviously we need to invest finance in this. We need to buy the equipment. We have some of the equipment already, but you can sow a seed and become involved in that, in this special new set that we're building. And it's also going to need a little bit more wiring. We're presently doing testing on it, on what we call Skype testing, to see if we can do live television. So this is all very exciting, but there is a need for this. We're living in days when things could happen anywhere on the borders of Israel, Nathalie, and we need to be able to get people into the studio to give you across the UK and into Europe and wherever you're watching in the world in real-time news and interviews from Israel. So if you'd like to get in contact, we'll put some details on the screen how you can help us financially. It's very easy to do that, by the way. If you want to send a check, we have representatives in the UK who are doing all of that. Our good friends Stephen, Lorraine, Holmer, Stewart, and their address is 2 Winham Drive, W-I-N-N-H-A-M Drive, and that's in Fareham, Hampshire, PO 16 8QE. Because I know some people are saying, well, you know, we are not so high tech that we can do, you know, a gift online. We just want to send a check or a postal order, and you can send it to them. Don't forget to make it payable to Blackham Family Ministries. Now, I just want to read one or two emails, and then I'm going to ask Nathalie. You've got a lot to tell us today, haven't you, about Aliyah and all sorts of things. I'm going to be talking about Nathalie's book as well. So we've had, and as I say, if you want to send an email in, please do. We love to hear from you. That's info@inthelastdays.com. Now, this is from Jackie in the UK. She says, I appreciate what you're doing and how you work so closely with the people in Israel to promote the truth for all of us here in the UK. Thank you, Jackie. We try to get guests in who are going to help you understand what's happening on the ground, who are going to help you, give you revelation. We've had Nehemiah Gordon in talking about the Conspiracy of Silence, his new book. We had Rabbi Dov Lippman in recently talking about the Knesset. He was trying to get a seat in the Knesset. So we try and get you people in who are going to help you understand about Israel. In fact, talking about Nehemiah, I've got a question here. It says, this is from Felix. Thank you, Felix, for your email. He says, hello, I believe the scripture that Mr. Nehemiah Gordon quoted, Nathalie, in Exodus 23:22 is incorrect. And he says, I have double-checked it and referenced it. Could you please let me know the correct scripture reference?
And we sent him the right one.
So we sent him the right one. And I've caught you a bit off guard because I bet you haven't really got that one to hand.
I can't remember which one it was, but yeah.
This is an email from Jackie. She says, I saw an interview you did with Rabbi Eliezer Ben Yehuda. It was very, very good, and I enjoyed the way Rabbi Eliezer teaches the Hebrew language. Now, we've had Rabbi Eliezer in, haven't we? And what a privilege to come and speak on the Hebrew language. This is from Cynthia in England. Again, we've watched you both on Revelation TV for some time. She says, my heart cries out for the young Israelis and their families. I understand that the military are on standby at the moment. That's from Cynthia in England. And then this is from Apindra, is his first name. And he says, please can you confirm if this is correct, that there are no swear words in the Hebrew language?
It is true.
So it's true, Apindra. If you're watching today, there are no swear words in the Hebrew language.
They have to swear in Russian or in English and in Arabic. I think they were telling me they couldn't do it in Hebrew.
Now, Nathalie, we were recently at Ben Gurion Airport covering the. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
This was very interesting and very touching because it was the first time that we've been. We saw some report before, but this time we were with them, which is very different. And we got up very early with the sun, and we went over there. And the amazing thing was that there was 127 young people. Most of them was from America and Canada, and but this 120. So sorry, there were 350 people. But among the 350, there was 127 young people who were going straight to the IDF, the Israeli army. And so Nathan Sharansky was there to welcome them. And Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu was there, the prime minister. He's not there all the time, but this time he was, which is a privilege for us to be here. And now you can watch what he was saying, especially to the army.
I want to talk to the 127 Olim who are joining the IDF today. Each of the 350 people who have made Aliyah today have decided to link their personal future with the future of the Jewish state and the Jewish people. But you've decided to do something else. You've decided to defend the Jewish future. And to have the opportunity to do so is a great privilege. It wasn't accorded to previous generations of Jews. In previous times, for almost 2 millennia, the Jews could not defend themselves. This is the great transformation that occurred in our time, that we can regain our destiny and defend our future. And this is a privilege that you have now decided to practice personally, thereby altering your lives and the Jewish future as well. I can tell you that the founders of modern Zionism did not think that when we amass back in our ancestral homeland and we restore the capacity to defend ourselves, that anti-Semitism would disappear. That is not what they thought. But they thought that we could defend ourselves against anti-Semitic assaults. And those have not been eliminated. They have not disappeared. On the contrary, there is a rise of a new anti-Semitism. As the Jewish state progresses and rises, so does anti-Semitism, but it changes form. And we see today a virulent attack on the Jewish people, a virulent new anti-Semitism. And we need to defend ourselves against that and those who give it intellectual support. This is a job that we all have to do, but the most important job is to defend the Jewish state. This we are doing, this you're doing. And I'm proud of you. I think the whole people are proud of you. The friends of Israel, Jews and non-Jews alike, are proud of you. Welcome to Israel. Welcome home. Thank you very much.
And so you saw what you were saying, and when we were with them, when they were coming, you could see family coming. And the beautiful thing is, like, sometimes there is one who make Aliyah, and after the family, you know, it's difficult sometimes because it's one who make the step. But eventually we saw one family, and we were doing also some report about them, and all the family were together. At least, you know, they were together, which was really nice. And you can watch also, there is also a very nice passage where you can see the film right now, so we are going to show it to you. And is the army, the people, there is some music and everybody is happy. And you know, you can see right now, I heard again a report today that Sharansky, funny enough, was saying, Nathan Sharansky was a prisoner of war. He came in Israel, he was released from Russia, and is the one who is really helping...
Prisoner of Zion.
Prisoners of Zion, sorry, Prisoners of Zion. And he's really helping people to come here. And people really love him. It was very interesting to see.
It was funny to see him with his very Russian cap that he wears.
Yeah. And but today he was giving a report saying because people are afraid of the war, some people who are making Aliyah, who've done all the steps, all the papers, they are saying, wait, we are waiting. So please pray for them, because there is a very important passage in Ezekiel 39 where God says, I will not leave one of them out of the countries. They will all come back in the land. So it's a spiritual thing. And when we were there, you could see, you know, all the importance of them being together. But obviously, it's difficult. You have to unroot yourself from the diaspora and coming to make your root here. And sometimes it takes time. Like for the people who are older, it's more difficult to speak Hebrew. And of course, the young people is quicker for them. But you see, when you move from one country to another country, it's difficult. But they are coming to Israel, so it's very...
You know, we need your support to be able to continue to do these programs and to continue to be here. We don't have support from any other place than you. You know, we have to be frank with our
and the petrol is very expensive
and
here.
Petrol is going up in price in Israel. And
I was reading a report today, and they were saying that it's one of the places the most expensive, and it's true. With the tank, when we put some money in the tank, we can see.
So please visit our website, which has a special donate page on it. There are different ways that you can make a donation to the program. We need your support. As I say, we're doing this live set, which we'll be constructing in the studio. We've invested to be able to do what you can see today, to be able to bring you programs like you've seen with Nehemiah Gordon, with Rabbi Dov Lippman, with Rabbi Eliezer Ben Yehuda. We had to invest in thousands of pounds of equipment. So we need your help to be able to pay for this equipment. And so please, you know, consider that. And some people will be watching the program and think, well, I don't have very much to give. You know, I can't give, you know, a large gift. But every single gift counts, whether it's £10 or £100 or £200, whatever gift you can make today does make a difference and will help us not just to do the work, but to increase the work, to have this new live set and to be able to bring you more films and more reports from Israel.
We're learning a lot of things here. You know, we had Eliezer Ben Yehuda, which was wonderful. I want to read it also, passage in the book. This is the book.
Well, you have to tell them whose book this is, Nathalie.
This is the book that I wrote last year, and it's called The Beauty of the Hebrew Language. And it's really an introduction. One lady was yesterday telling me it's like an appetizer. And I said, yes, you're very right. I didn't make it big to show that it's for everybody. And you see there is a passage in Zephaniah 3:9. It's one of the amazing passages in it. We are saying that God is going to give us a pure language again. You can find more about it when you buy the book. But this is very important, and this is a way that God is giving us to be able to learn more and to get strong in our faith. And I want just to read you this passage. And this is in Ephesians 5. Husband, you must continually love your wives, just as the Messiah also loved the congregation and gave himself over on her behalf, so that he will sanctify his wife, the congregation, the bride, making her pure by washing with the word of Torah, in order that he will present for himself the glorious congregation, not having spot or wrinkle or any of such things, but so that his bride would be holy and without blemish. So this is part of the Power New Testament, which is more, they try to take the Hebrew word, keep the flavor of the Hebrew words. And so you can see that we are washed by the word. And slowly, I'm reading my Bible in Hebrew. I can tell you this is called the Chumash, which is interesting because Chumash comes from Chamesh, which is 5, the first 5 books of the Bible. And so the Jewish people read a portion every week, and I'm following them, I'm running behind them, and I'm reading it slowly in Hebrew now and in English next to it. And I find treasure, and I just want today to share with you one of the treasure. One of the passages which is very well known also by the homeschoolers, because we speak a lot about that, is like teach your children, you know, when you sit, when you walk, and all of that. So I was reading that, and I was looking at the name, and it's Ve-Shinanetam. So the root word is shine. Let me make sure to make sure that is exactly the name. That's it, shinen, and which is very different than the name that I see usually, which is there is the Torah, which is also like Moriah, is the same root from teacher. More is a teacher, Mora is a teacher for feminine name, and Ora is instruction, order, teaching, meaning. So you can see with the shin is different. So I went in my dictionary, look at it, and I said, this is not like teaching usually, or you have Talmidim. A lot of people know about disciple, and it's not the same. So I looked at it and saying, okay, this is very interesting. I don't know this root name. So I look in the dictionary and I find shinen, as I was saying. And this is what they were saying in the dictionary. It means memorizing, it means repeating, it means inculcate, yeah, and it means sharpening and teaching. But it's very different than the other one. So it means that it's much deeper that when we say teach your children, it's not just teaching, it's memorizing, it's repeating, it's like it's something that goes really into you. And when I find that day, I was so amazed and thinking, gosh, we need to go back to the word. And very interesting, again this morning I was preparing and looking the root even more, and shin is the teeth, which is like when sharpened, because you cut with your teeth. So we are cutting the word, we are chewing it, and it's something so important to be, you know, to learn. And so, and again, there was a lady that I met yesterday. I was telling you, a German lady. She find my book. I can't remember how she find it, but she find it on, I mean, on the website, obviously, but I can't remember how.
And some bookshops have it now.
The story in Jerusalem, yeah, and in England. But you can find it on our website. You go on our website, you can pay with PayPal, so it's very simple, and I can dedicate it for you because it comes to me and I can send it to you. So it will be special for you. And this lady bought the book, and after that, she's right now in Jerusalem doing a ulpan, which is a school to learn Hebrew, because she knows that this is something so important. So you see, Eliezer ben Yehuda, we always felt in connection with Eliezer ben Yehuda, which is an amazing man who revived the Hebrew language, and we find like connected with him. We connected with his grandson, Eliezer ben Yehuda. We are doing some program. And now for me to see, I met this lady, Thea, yesterday in Jerusalem, and we're speaking together, and to see that, you know, the Hebrew, she knows how it is important. and we're speaking again about the importance of the Hebrew language. And we're speaking also with Eliezer, I don't know if you remember, saying that a lot of Bible college are not doing Hebrew, and
it's so important.
Yes, it is.
Well, of course, you know, the big news for me at the moment is that for the viewers, and Nathalie says you'll know about this because our program is going to be on a Sunday at 10 o'clock p.m. They've been watching it at, this is for those who are watching, by the way, on Revelation television, because I know there may be others who are watching YouTube or another way that they're able to access the program. But if you're in the UK, our programs are now at 10 o'clock p.m. every other Sunday, not every Sunday, but every other Sunday. I have to get that right. And you can tune in, let your friends know, and don't forget there's the, if you want to ask questions, sometimes you'll see a guest and you'd like to ask a question. You may think, well, maybe they won't have the guest, but if you put it for his name and we get him back in, we'll keep it to one side and make sure that when we have the guest back in, that they can ask a question. Well, just a quick bit of news, because I know that we're running very short of time, and we still want to speak to you about what's happening on the Sinai border. Now, we were speaking about that at the beginning of the program. So important what's happening there. This is, again, news about Israel asking the Egyptians have moved armor into the Sinai desert in contravention of the peace treaty. There's a peace treaty, you may not know this, between Israel and Egypt. It's been a long-standing peace treaty, and it's been there until recently. Of course, we were talking earlier about the anti-aircraft missiles being moved into Egypt, and now Israel has asked the Egyptians to take their armor out of the Sinai desert. So we realize these are very serious days. We know that the work we're doing here in Israel, in the studio, is very important. We thank you for your support. Without your support, we couldn't be here. So it's been great to be with you on this special update program. And remember, we're living in the last days.
You've been watching In the Last Days, a TV program with Martin and Nathalie Blackham, the program that looks at Israel and the end times with teaching from a Hebraic perspective. If you would like to financially support the program or find out about conferences, meetings or ministry products, then please contact us with the details on your screen. Visit our easy-to-use website at www.inthelastdays.com and register for our free e-newsletter. Get the latest news from Israel, product information, online video teaching, or watch today's TV program at a time that's convenient to you. Thank you again, friends and partners, for making this program possible.
See you in 2 weeks, same time, same station, for the next program from In the Last Days.